All right, everyone. Hello, hello. We're here at Syracuse Lanes. This is the 67th annual Post-Standard Masters. We are going to do a little test live stream today to check out our connections and our video feeds, and our audio, make sure that everything's coming across good. So starting off the day, we have the first matches in our once defeated. We're going to have Mike Schardt versus TJ Mento, Rob Mushtare versus Josh Kierpiec. The winners of both of those matches will move on to bowl against each other to determine who's going to be the number 3 seed. And then later today, we also have our 2 remaining undefeated bowlers of Dean Diston and Dave Jecko, who will be competing to determine who's the number 1 and number 2 seed. So the bowlers were ready to go, so we're going to jump right into the action. So starting off with our first match on 59 and 60, that's going to be the match of Kierpiec and Mushtare. With that match, what we're looking at here is they are through 2 frames so far. And we've got strike spare for Mushtare and spare for Kierpiec. We are off and rolling.
Table. Please make sure you prepare your score sheets.
All right, so messing around with our audio settings here. We saw Josh Kierpiec strike on lane 60. He's throwing an Ion Pro Max. Up the outside, he backdoors the bucket for a double there. Nice break for Josh. Brutal 9-pin there for Rob. See him clean up that spare. We'll stay with this match through the first 5 frames, and then we'll jump over to the other match. Gets the 4-7 and the 10 to go there for Rob, so through the first 5 frames, Rob has gone strike spare, strike spare, strike. Josh has gone spare double. Josh leaves a 10 pin there on his 5th frame shot. For all of our follows out there, in case you're hearing a lot of background noise, we do have the first squad of the women's Masters qualifying going off on the other side of the house. There's another squad today and then a squad tomorrow. So if you have not signed up, be sure to check them out. We do have availabilities for walk-ins, and we will also be bringing you their live finals as we saw Josh Kierpiec miss that 10 pin. We're going to jump over to the other match now of Mike Schardt versus TJ Mento. So we see Schardt miss the single pin spare. So he's going to step up on the left lane, looking to bounce back from that single pin spare miss, and he does just that with a strike. And next we're going to have TJ Mento throwing a purple hammer. That one looked like it got a little left on him, and he unfortunately leaves the 3-7 split. It was on an open frame though, so minimal penalty there. So TJ off from that split, getting one. He's going to look to set himself up for the second half of this match to get some momentum going. Almost a 7-10 that time. Gets lucky to drop it just a little bit. So we see TJ clean up his spare.
I heard that was in room to you. I thought you were going to give those two to me. I thought you were my friend. We got delivered on Wednesday.
All right, Mike Schardt in the 6th frame is up. He packs all 10 there for a big double. Just as a reminder, these are 3-game matches. So although the match cannot be decided in the first game, the momentum certainly can be set. We're going to jump over to the other match as 51 is not setting a full rack of pins. And this is Rob Mushtare up in the 9th frame on a spare. Looking to set his 10th frame up well, and he does just that. That was 10 pins packed. It's going to be a max score of 238 for Rob. And 223 max score for Josh Kierpiec if he can strike here in the 9th frame. Ion Pro Max going down the lane. Looked a little left off his hand. He leaves the baby split, the 3-10. Going to need to take his time and cover this up. Spare balls away, going down the lane, and he does just that. That's a big 9th frame spare there for Josh. All right, first one in 10th is away for Kierpiec. Gets the kiss on the 7-pin. Big strike there, gives him a chance to still punch out for 200. 203 on the nose to be exact. Double there in the 10th frame for Kierpiec. Looks like he's he's gonna change some tape or a thumb, maybe. Let's see here. Uh, 8 there on the fill for 201. Game 1 for Josh Kierpiec. All right, first on the 10th is away for Rob. Another almost 710, and he gets both of them out for a huge first strike. Second one in the 10th, he leaves the 10 pin and misses it, so that's going to be 226 for Rob Mushtare to 201 for Josh Kierpiec. We'll jump over to the match of Mento for Schardt for their finish here. Mento with the ball change on 52. Leaves the 7 pin. The pins start playing defense against themselves. And he leaves a 7 pin there. Spare attempt is away. Cleans that up. So Mento's going to be the first to finish on the left lane. Looks like he's throwing a Ion Pro solid now after the purple hammer at the beginning of the game. And he has a max score of 185 here with 3 strikes. Coming off the spare. That one went high on him. Lucky to leave just a 4 pin. Not much. How are you? So just to recap there, that was a 9 spare 9 in the 10th frame for TJ Mento, finishing with 173. Schart's ball reacted, went a little high on him, leaving the 3-6-10. With the spare and 10 on the fill, that would give him 186. So we saw him clean up the spare. Gives him 176 plus whatever he gets here on the fill. Shots away. A little bit inside on that one, and it held its line nice for him. That was 10 back for 186. Checking in on the match of Kierpiec versus Mushtare. Getting a little bit more high scoring now as we see Josh's first miss of the game. Start out with the front three. That was a tug left by the looks of it. But leaves himself a 6-pin to clean up. Mushtare has gone double, split, strike through the first 4 frames. We see Kierp miss the 6-pin to the right. Really frustrated with himself with that attempt. Let's see how he bounces back. It's like a ball change from the Ion Pro Max that he was throwing. Might be a Widow or a Web Tour or something like that. Spare attempts away here, cleans that up. Looking to minimize the potential damage. See Mushtare's first open of the game there, other than the split that he did throw in the third, but the single pin miss. Approach is given a little bit of issue for everyone. Kerp covers up that spare. A little fist pump from him. Excited for that. Check in with our other match here quick. So we're only doing 2 frames over here so far. Unfortunately, 51 and 52 is having some pin setting issues that have slowed the pace a little bit to go along with the lower scoring. But to start the game here, we have TJ Mento with a strike and 2 spares, and Mike Schardt struck on his first shot, open in a second, and is left the 4-pin here. Covers up the spare. Schardt's 4th frame shot is away. Comes up the light. Leaves a shaker 2-pin. Covers up the spare there. So we see Mento with a strike in the 4th frame. We're going to jump back to the other matches. They're closing in on their 10th frame right now. So we saw Josh Kierpiec with 143 in the 7th, strike in the 8th, and a strike in the 9th. Rob Mushtare with a 109 open in the 7th, strike in the 8th. So he's going to need a strike here to give himself a chance at a big 10th frame. First one is away, gets all of them to go down. That one came a little behind the head pin, but trips out the 4 and the 7. Max score of 199 for Rob. Max score of 237 for Josh. Rob's first shot in the 10th frame leaves the 7 pin. Fill ball away for Rob. Gets all 10 there. 178 game 2. Gives him 404 after 2, so plus 4. So Kierpiec up in the 10th frame on a double. First shot in the 10th is away. Half 10. So we see the 3-pin go to the gutter and play dead. Just like a well-trained dog. Spare attempt is away, and it misses wide left. As we see again, the approaches playing havoc on the bowlers. So Josh, 201 game 1, 200 game 2. That is 401 for Kierpiec to 404 for Mushtare. A 3-pin match. We're waiting for pins over on 51 and 52. Now that we have some pins, we're going to see TJ Mento. Ball is going long off the back of the pattern, but some friendly carry. Backdooring the 3, the 6, and the 10 for 3 in a row for TJ Mento as he looks to apply some pressure here in his match. This game, he has started out strike, spare, 3 in a row. Schardt, after the open in the second frame, has managed 9 spare, strike, 7 spare. Mento using the new Widow. That one saw it off the back of the pattern at the perfect time for 4 in a row or a ham bone. Seems like we're trying out a couple different reactions here across all of the pairs. One thing I will say, watching qualifying and the match play, is that the two different sides of the house definitely play very different. The low end of the house, lanes 1 through 24, that bay or so, the way to perfection was definitely straighter was greater. And then on this side of the house, lanes 51 through 64, definitely had to move inside a little bit and shape it a little bit more if you wanted to find success. So for our bowlers that have lasted this long, have had to go deep into their toolboxes to find what works best for them. Mike Schardt with a strike in the 7th, looking to make it a double here. That ball again comes up a little light, leaves a 2-pin. You can see here on the fresh that there isn't quite as much room to shape it right like you had to later in the match play last weekend, but trying to play up the boards is also not favorable, so kind of got to go with that tweener fallback shot. So we see Mike clean up his spare. And TJ, our lone lefty, looking to make it 5 in a row here as he steps up in his 8th frame. Shots away. Last one came up behind the head pin. This one does not. That was 10 back flushed for 5 in a row for Mento as he moves into his 9th frame. The first squad of the CNY Women's Masters has wrapped up. So we got a nice little crowd behind us here watching these matches as we wait for the second round to start. Mento looking for 6 in a row in the 9th frame. He's got it. He's gone from urethane to solid, now to the Widow, which I believe is pearl. And that definitely seems to be the best reaction he's had today. Schart's shot in the ninth is away. That is a clean 10 for him. Looking for 207 off the sheet after that strike in the ninth frame. Schart's first in the 10th is away. Looked like he liked it. Came a little lazy off the back of the pattern, but mixed them all up. So he's going to take a second here as he realizes that it is, in fact, the 10th frame, and he gets to throw a couple bonus balls here. He's going to swing back around. Second one in the 10th is away. Again, he likes that one. Tries to send some pins at the 10 pin. Comes up just a little shy. Mike Schardt cleans up that spare for 196 game 2. As we see TJ Mento step to the approach with a chance to strike out for 268. First one in the 10th is away. Shaker 5-pin. Pretty sure the ball made contact with the 5-pin on its way through, but just not enough to take it all the way down. So we saw that messenger go right behind the 5-pin too. It's going to bring it down to 247 max score here for Mento. So he cleans up the 5-pin. Almost doesn't get there. Last shot in the 10th is away. That one he got in the lane a little bit earlier and helped it see it for a strike for 247 that game. So in the match of Schardt versus Mento, TJ Mento 420, Mike Schardt 382. That's a 38-pin lead for TJ Mento going into the last game. So we'll go back over as we wait to see the final results here of the match of Mushtare versus Josh Kierpiec. Rob started out game 3 here, strike spare, 3-bagger, open in the 6th frame. Josh missed a single pin spare in the 1st frame, strike spare, double, open in the 6th for Josh as well. So that's 125 in the 6th for Rob and 103 in the 6th for Josh, meaning that Rob currently has a 25-pin lead. 7th frame shots away as we see a 2-10 split leave. Spare attempt is away, sends the 2 over towards the 10, goes just behind it. That is back-to-back opens for Rob Mushtare after a hot start. Game 3. Josh with 2 opens this game is going to look to put some pressure back on here with a strike in the 7th frame. Gets up in the 7th and does just that, as that was 10 pins flushed back. We'll send our congratulations out to Josh. Recently returned back to the New York area, spent some time in Rome, relocated again to Rochester, now part owner of a pro shop and recently engaged. So congratulations to Josh on all those exciting life changes. As he steps up in the 8th frame on that strike, that ball went left like a hockey stick. It was a little left off from his hand to begin with, and like we were talking about on this side of the house, definitely got to shape it a little bit more. However, on the fresh part of the pattern, there's not as much recovery to the right, so really limited room to maximize your entry to the pockets, as we've seen the scoring pace so far, relatively low. Spare attempt here from Josh, cleans it up. That's going to bring us back to a 4-pin deficit in the match of Kierpiec versus Mushtare. Rob, pretty good shot there. Unfortunately, leaves an 8-pin. Single pin carry is definitely going to be a difference maker today and tomorrow in these last few matches. Rob's spare attempt is away. Cleans up the 8-pin. Shot is away, comes up a little light. this close match here is going to come down to the 10th frame. Again, coming into this match, just 3 pins separated Kierpiec and Mushtare, with Rob with a 3-pin lead. It's going to be a big spare in the 9th frame. Not an easy one by any means, but he covers it up. It's a max score of 202 for Rob. As we're going to have Josh step up in the 9th frame here. He's going to need to strike for a max score of 203 after that. This very well could be the defining shot of the match. Shots away. Looked really, really good. You see the pin go right around the 10 pin. That's been the story of lane 60 for Josh Kierpiec. I think that's 4 10 pins that he's left on that lane alone in this match. As things have heated up on 51 and 52, just off to our left, as both bowlers are off to a start with the front 5, as TJ Mento carried a mess of pins. So Josh cleans up his 10 pin. Now at a 10 pin deficit this game, already down 3, so he's going to need all 3 in the 10th frame to put some pressure on Rob. Match is not over by any means, but this is going to be a must-strike situation for Josh. Shots away. Looks pretty good off his hand. That was really pure for 10. Max score 192. Game 3 here for Josh. Again, he was down 3 pins coming into this match. So he's going to need all 3 strikes here to force Rob to strike on his first shot. Number 2 and 10th is away. Another pretty good one. Leaves the 10 pin again. So we see pins rolling behind it, but not making contact there for him. It's going to be a 182 with the spare conversion as he makes it. That means Rob's just going to need 180 or better to win this match. Pretty much any spare will do it for him. He has had 2 splits this set, so there's definitely anything possible, but first one in 10th is away. Looks pretty good. Hand up in the air. That strike is good for the win. Rob Mushtare over Josh Kierpiec. Moving on for the chance for the 3 seed. We'll watch him finish off his. All right, actually, we're going to jump over to the match on 51 and 52 as both bowlers have the front 6 as we just had Mike Schardt strike in the 7th frame. Let's see if TJ Mento can match him. And the last shot on 52 for TJ was the one that heard the roarous reaction from the crowd where he carried 6 pins that were left on the deck, but that one was 10 pins clean off the deck. We got a front 7 versus front 7, game 3. over on 51 and 52. Final score of the Kierpiec versus Mushtare match is going to be 6:04 for Rob Mushtare, defeating Josh Kierpiec with 583. Again, great bowling to Josh. Great run. Mento is the first one to falter. Coming up high to leave the 4-7-8 spare. Spare conversion attempt is away. Cleans it up. Just remind everybody that Mento has a 38-pin lead going into this game. So if Schardt strikes out for 300, Mento can strike out for 277, I believe. Let's double check my math here. Yeah, 277. So with that, Mento would still take home the win. So Schardt has to stay perfect. He does. That is the front 8 for Mike Schardt. We have a big strike in the 9th frame here. Through all of the games that have bowled so far, which is almost 2,000 games, I believe, we have yet to have a 300 game, to my knowledge. We had to have one 800 in qualifying, or not in qualifying, in match play, as we see the pin roll, and he carries the 10 pin with the late roller. That's the front 9 for Mike Schardt. Fist in the air, all smiles as you see this low roller come across and carry out that 10 pin. TJ Mento's nice shot is away, needs to strike, leaves a 7 pin, and just like that, Schardt is in control. Spare on the 7th pin is away from Mento as he covers it up. He's going to be able to step up in the 10th frame. With a max score of 266. If he strikes out, he does actually still retain the win. 266 would give him 686 with 300. Mike Schardt can only get to 682. So he does step onto the lanes in control of his destiny. It all starts with this ball right here. First one in the 10th is away. Back doors the 4 or the 6 and the 8 pin. That ball was pretty good. He liked it, and definitely came off from the back of the pattern pretty sharp in order to leave the potential 6-8 split. All right. This strike here will pretty much lock it in for TJ Mento. Let's see, the adjustment off from the last shot comes up light. Leaves the 3-pin. So that's going to be a 256 max score for Mento with the spare, meaning that Mike Schardt is going to have to double in order to have a chance to win here. As he confers with the crowd that he does, in fact, need to get the first 2 strikes in. Unfortunately, 51 continues its problems that it's had for the last 3 or 4 weeks and does not leave the pin for Mento to shoot. So, icing the kicker here. We're going to hope that the staff here is right on top of 51 and 52, ready to set that up. I see action pretty quick. Give him some credit. So we'll take a little TV timeout here as they clear up those pins for Mento to shoot at this 3-pin. And again, Mike Schardt with the front 9 needs the first 2 strikes in the 10th frame and sweeps away the pin that they just set up. We'll have to try that again. We'll have lots more ads reads for you guys tomorrow, but just thank some of the sponsors here of the 67th Annual Post-Standard Masters Striking Results Pro Shop, located right here in Strike and Spare Lanes. Smith Smart Audiovisual Entertainment, Logos Custom Embroidery, Mandy's, and of course Fish Cove. The host for the entire event, AMF Strike and Spare Lanes, BNC Storage, Blue Line Automotive, C&Y Quality Transport, and D&M. Thanks to all these sponsors for their many years of support of the Post-Standard Masters. And finally, TJ has a chance to clean up that 3-pin spare, which he does. So 256, 676 for TJ Mento. And Mike Schardt, after that rain delay, is going to step up on lane 52, needing a double for the chance to win. He's got perfection through 9 frames. First one in the 10th is away. He falls off it a little bit. Shakes up the pins for 10 in a row. As we can see, TJ Mento sitting back, really wishing that he could have got that second one in the 10th to go. But a heck of a run to finish off his first match of the day in his losers bracket matchup against Mike Schardt. We're going to repeat this and run it back. House gets quiet. Shots away. It was a big pull left. And here goes Brooklyn for number 11. Both bowlers. Nobody likes to do that against anybody. Nobody likes to see that done against them. If anything, this pattern definitely plays to that potential. So 5 or more pins here is good enough. But I'm sure Mike would like to finish this one off for perfection. I have a feeling he's going to pack it. That shot looks pretty good. Yeah. That is 300 for Mike Schardt. 682 to 676. He defeats TJ Mento with a huge 300 to finish it off. That is the definition of there's no defense in bowling. When somebody's got it, they got it. So we're going to go ahead and end this stream here, and we'll be back for the final matches to determine our 1, 2, and 3 seed. But thanks for joining us, Utica Rome Bowling Live. We'll be turning it back on shortly.